All right. Uh, Good afternoon. Today is March 8th, 2021, and here's what we were looking at for today. So this was a range day. We had the overnight high lows down here, overnight highs here. We broke above the overnight highs for a little bit and just made a little bit of congestive area. Um, but then prices started making their way down towards the overnight lows. They didn't get down there quite. Um, but it just feels like these bears are lurking around every corner. As you can see, prices gapped up from over the weekend, and they quickly filled that gap, and then continued trending down, and then um, looks like a little before 2:30 or so, price started trending up, maybe to hit this level. Um, but yeah, here's what we were looking at, and a few good trades. And I came in really early, and there were some trades I really liked right off the bat that I took on the simulator. So came in early. It shouldn't have been too difficult. So let's take a look at what we got. So yeah, over looks like about 1:45 a.m. prices started trending up. You see this channel. This turns out to be the top half of a two-tier channel, but you can see it's like its own channel right here. Um, I guess I measured this move. This move was a little smaller than this move. Oh, they look pretty close though. Oh yeah, those are almost to the tick. Didn't even. I thought this was like a point short of this move. But yeah, you get a measured move pretty much. You get an overshoot of this larger blue channel that leads to a break. And in this short-term downward channel, you get a failed second entry long, but that's hard to take with confidence because you don't know if that's the trend line yet. But you could have looked at it like this. Yeah, so you could argue for that one. But it turns out to be more steep, and you get a failed second entry long. First entry, second entry, I liked it because it was off the EMA. And we just had this overshoot, and what else? Why else did I like it? It's kind of like off the the gap support resistance level. So I like that. Turned out to be a good trade. Yeah, so we get the break of this channel, this larger blue channel, and prices start coming up. And if you want to take this, it looks like a second entry short. It's actually not, but this looks like it tried to go lower once. Here's a second. So leg up, boom. You do get filled. Nice bearish signal bar off the EMA, but a lot of people, I guess, got trapped going short here, maybe, and people are just duking it out with the bulls, and eventually you get this nice move up. I don't see how you could enter on this. No good entry point. Get a break of this channel and you get a trap here, but I would just be hesitant simply because of how far away from the EMA you are, and you're going into those overnight highs, um, or at least that area. We get this congestion. Um, nothing worth noting in here. Um, okay, and then we get this pullback after the congestion. So the congestion formed after this huge leg up. You get a first entry and a second entry on a trap. So let me see that at the EMA. Long, trap, A. So you get all those factors in your favor. You barely scalp out here. Unfortunately, I thought it was going to be a nice move, but um, I think let's mark that as aggressive because after the fact, well, not even after the fact, anyone with some skill in drawing these trend lines, you can see that's going right into that trend line. So, you know, I think I was very risky. And you can see people got trapped going long there. So, anyway, we get this move down. Real choppy around here. This is probably, yeah, this is a little 20 minutes after the open. This is kind of like a breakout or a pullback to this area, and it fails to go in. So yeah, I like this trap. Why didn't I mark this? I like this. I like this because it looks like we're about to go back into this congestive area. So I might take this if I'm watching. Bounces off the EMA. I like that. Don't know why I didn't mark that. It is a first entry. But yeah, I would take it thinking like we're probably even going to go to the top of here, but that fails. Bunch of trapped alongs. Boom. Big move down. You don't get a good signal bar down here. This is a trap. Just explodes up. If you if you want to go short here, you get a great signal bar. It's far from the EMA. It's just that this is one leg up. You don't know if you're going to get a second one, and you do. You do get a second one. If you have this congestive area drawn, that looks good to me. I like those entries. But anyway, we get these leg up, two legs up. This really looks like one leg from down here to up here. Two legs. Get this first entry, second entry, trap at the EMA. It's a second entry long. So I like that, especially after this big leg up. Turns out to be the trend line as well. Prices start moving up, move above the overnight highs, and you get some congestion right here. Looks like it might be above. Oh, never mind. I was thinking of this area. So we make a price level up here. Prices come back down to the overnight highs. You get a first entry, second entry long, and it's off of this trend line. Confirms that trend line. Second entry long, nice move. Pulls back again. Can't make it to the highs, so leads to a break. Prices come down here. This is starting to look like a price level, an important price level. I was looking at this a little bit, but that's going into, well, what eventually turned out to be the midline, and that's just a big bar. So I don't think I would take that simply because of how big it is. If you were looking at maybe these overnight highs as a level of support, you might take this on a higher low. Anyway, it gets real choppy in here, but at this point we might have this price level. We might be looking at it as a level of resistance. This is just too many dojis. Can't really enter on that. And this kind of makes our level of support. I'd probably have our support level like right here. That would mess up this midline. So move it back. You don't get any good entries, no good signal bars. Um, Somebody might enter on this if you have a bearish bar. So far from the EMA, it looks like it's breaking back into this congestive area. It's at the top of this range. So you might take that. But you get more congestion after that. Get this leg down. So I saw this. It's like a higher low far from the EMA. It's also at the higher low off the bottom of the range. And you barely scalp out here. So why you might not take that is because of this channel. It's going right into the top of that. Then you get this congestive area beneath the range that had just formed. Um, and there's not a lot of good entries here. You would think that you would want to go long, uh, so you don't get a good long setup until here. You get a good long setup here. So one reason you might not want to take this, look, it's a trap. It's a higher low, so you might think that we're going back into the range. So a reason why you might not want to take that is because of this right here. First attempt to go back in failed. So that makes me a little wary. Trap people out. First entry, that's also a second entry. But we're in a range, so it doesn't really matter. That'd probably be the midline of the range, like right here too. So you don't want to go right into the midline. Um, yeah, and I mean, some people might argue to go short here or here, but I was looking at that as counter trend kind of. So clearly some trap shorts all in this area because we get this nice move up. And after we get congestive up here at this important price level, and you get a matching high right here, it looks like a quadruple test of this level. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice bear signal bar. You would have barely scalped out here, which is surprising to me. I would think that we would at least go back to the EMA, but they're just chopping people up. Moves down, uh, moves up, comes down, and you might even, you probably wouldn't look at this as a price level to go along with. Price breakout again. So this breakout fails. Price breakout again. You get a lower high if you want to enter there, and you would have gotten filled, but you wouldn't have gotten a runner, unfortunately, because this thing, floor just falls out from beneath this thing. I don't see any way to get in on this. Prices bounce. Oh, you know what? First entry, second entry. After that big move, I don't know if you would want to go long, but you do get a failed second entry short. Space to back to the EMA to scalp out to. Get this break. Two legs up to a new high. You don't get a good signal bar to go short, unfortunately, again. Let's see. Try this. You know, you might think when this trend line breaks, you might think to go short here, but I don't see why. I could argue for that first entry. That's the second entry. That's not the high bar of the swing. Then you get this congestive area, and that goes into 12 o'clock. So we also you want to measure this leg, and we actually went further than that. So it bounces a little before that when you get this congestion, but then it goes further than that. And this channel might be still holding prices. So that's what I saw today. Not too much going on, but you had some good entries early. Um, Plenty of moves, plenty of good entries. So hopefully I'll be back tomorrow.